Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. So hope you've survived the heat wave. We weren't too bad. I mean, I stay in Livingston, and yeah, we were all 32 degrees yesterday. No wildfires, nothing like that. Anyway, up early. It's just after 6:30. 20 degrees already though. Anyway, now had my Tenere 700 for a little while. Managed to do about 1,300 miles on it. So I thought I would get up this morning, take a little shortcut because I need to go and get fuel, and tell you what I think about the bike. Now, last weekend I did a sort of 2-day trip away, did about 550 miles over the 2 days. And one thing I will say, if you're thinking about getting one of these bikes and you are not a lightweight, then you really need to change the spring. The standard spring is set up for a 70 kilogram rider, and you really need to jack up the preload, especially if you're going up north where the roads are a little bit bumpier, or if you're doing sort of trails like these, then you will need a heavier spring. I've ordered mine from Rally Raid. I went for the 95 Newton meter spring, which is the biggest spring that they do, and yeah, I'll get that fitted. I'm sure that'll work. The other thing that you maybe consider would be changing the seat. The seat is an instrument of torture. It is rock hard. So I'm probably going to keep the seat and maybe just get a gel pack and use that, or a sheepskin. But it is something that you need to consider, is doing something with the seat if you're doing longer trips. And the final thing that I am going to do, just to make it a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more drivable at sort of cruising speeds on road, is change the front sprocket to a 16 tooth one. I just find that when you're sitting at sort of 70 miles an hour, the revs are just a little bit too high, but more importantly, they're at that section where you are getting a little bit of vibes through the bars, and after about an hour it was giving me a sort of numb hand. So seemingly going up 1 tooth on the front will drop the revs down just enough so at that speed you're not in that vibey zone. So I'll do an update once I've done that and once I've done the spring. But apart from that, oh no, one other thing this bike, the fuel gauge, like all bikes, is not brilliant. What I will say, once it starts flashing to say it's on empty, you can do, well, I did 55 miles and it still wasn't done. I could have pushed a little bit more. As long as you're being conservative with the speeds, don't worry. Simple as that. And talking about fuel, I don't know, obviously everybody's fuel prices are horrendous just now. Actually, I'm going to go back down there. Everywhere's dear. Our local Costco, which was 182, and that's Costco in Loanhead in Edinburgh, have now dropped their price to 177. So if you've got a Costco near you, now I know in Scotland there aren't that many. I happen to live in Livingston, as I said, just outside Edinburgh. So yeah, my Costco, it's 14 miles away, but compared to the prices in Livingston, that's about 11-12 pence a litre cheaper, so worth the effort. Anyway, it's got a little bit quicker down here. Now I know there's no any dog walkers about. So you can turn the ABS off on this. On stuff like this, I would just leave it on anyway. I mean, that's what, 35 mile an hour? Because it's not that bad. There's bits down here that are a little bit more bumpy. And as I said, I mean, I have not changed the shock on this yet. It's actually quite compliant when it's off-road though. Off-road though. I mean, a little track like this, just make sure there's nobody coming. Nope, nobody coming. So this does get a little bit more rusted here, and that's when you notice it. I mean, if I was sitting down, that'd be bucking a little bit, but it's not. So I've got another trip coming up, and hopefully I've got some test rides getting sorted out for the weekend. I am really keen to get a shot on the Ducati Desert Sled, sorry, Desert X. For a shot on a Desert Sled, didn't like it, because I did think about buying one. But the Desert X, yeah, it's a cracking looking bike. Got a bit more kit on it than the Tenere, and yeah, I'm looking forward to getting a shot on that. Not that I'm thinking about buying one, because I've just got this, and this does everything that I really need in a bike. So I would say, if you're thinking about a Yamaha Tenere, just think about the things I spoke about, you know. Front sprocket, change it to a 16 tooth if you are using it on road quite a bit, which if you stay in the UK you're going to be. Changing the seat if you're doing any distance, and the rear spring, unless of course you are 70 kilograms. If not, then you're going to need to change that rear spring to suit whatever weight you are. And like I say, Rally Raid do them. They're not expensive, around £90, and yeah, it should make all the difference. So, hope you like the video, and please do me a favour, subscribe. You know, I'm not too bad of hit the bell icon, yeah, but subscribe please, you know, that would really help. The channel is getting more and more views. It'd be great if everybody could subscribe. And for now, I'm just going to pull in here and turn off my cam, and I'll see you guys again later.